I'm like, I don't need Tom's morning report. But you know what? It's freaking cool. And so, you just saw me go through the news, CNBC and Bloomberg. We found Tesla. We found AstraZeneca. We found these opportunities by reading the morning news. Now, Tom has a report right in the software, and that gives you the morning news in a different way, though. So if you want to see Tom's morning report, you go to option. Oops, it's in the wrong. Let me correct my slides here. There we go. You click options, option rankers, and then right on the bottom, you have the morning report. Now, this morning report is based on Friday's data, so it's not the same as live CNBC, but it provides some really cool stuff. I'll go in here in a minute just to kind of get you oriented. So it gives you a list of the top 10 most expensive IV stocks. Now, a lot of times that's because the stock has tanked. Sometimes it's because like Carnival Cruise, cruise lines, or there's a stock that's in the news, NVIDIA was rising, IV was rising too. So sometimes you can see bulls, but most of the time this list is bearish. So in either case though, this list makes good credit spread candidates. And then here on the cheap side, these are stocks that are typically rising, not dropping so hard, bullish stocks, good for buying, long calls, long puts, do your directional analysis. You still have to do that part. So, those are also calendar spreads, a really good list for calendar spreads because the IV is cheap. IV ain't there for no reason. IV is there because of demand. Now, demand skyrockets when stocks tank. Sometimes demand skyrockets if it's an exceptional bullish stock. Now, if things are steadily bullish or sideways, or it's calm, sky's not falling, it's not super exciting, then the options will be cheap. And notice that the Qs is right on the top of the list as cheap. NVIDIA as well. These have been two, it's tech, right? AI-led tech, NVIDIA, QQs, the NASDAQ, all bullish. And with a low IV, that doesn't mean it's about to drop. It's just that it's a good environment in which to buy calls on those two particular stocks. So that's the first two set of data. Then you have this one, unusually high call option volume and unusually high put option volume. And, what does that mean? Well, if the option volume is exceptionally high, then that means there's a lot of people buying those options or selling those options. That's the part. You don't know if the volume is a short piece of volume or a bullish piece of volume. But all it means is that big money, perhaps institutional money, is flowing into very specific, look at this one here on Apple, very specific, or Newmont, let's start with the biggest one on the list, very specific strike price and expiration date, very specific option. All right, so this is 2025, January 17. These are the leaps, the 55 calls on Newmont Mining. Somebody has a long-term prognosis that Newmont Mining will be rising between now and January of 25. And that's how you can kind of read it. Apple here, January the 19th of 24. That's a leap. So there's some big volume here, 11,000 contracts. That's just one day of volume. People are making some big bets on Apple staying bullish until January of 24. So that's the information that you have here. And the same on the put side. Here, look at Tesla. This is December 15 of this year, puts at 200 strike. That's the price, lots of volume there. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the volume there is bearish volume. They could have been short puts as well. So that's one of the things we don't really have visibility about. But certainly, there's a lot of money flowing in. There's some big money that has some very specific potential prognoses on these stocks. So that's how you read that one. And then here, highest open interest. This is probably, I would say this is more valuable than volume. Open interest, the number of contracts in circulation. So this is where the big money is flowing into the bulls and the bears. Now, again, that's loosely said because we don't know if this open interest is a result of a short transaction, short calls and puts, or long. So that's the one thing you've got to check. But you can still, from here, do your directional analysis. So that's the power. You have to apply directional analysis after you find these, the biggest pieces of options, data, news, stocks in the market. And so let's just take a quick look and I'll give you some ideas about how you can use this. All right, so here's what you do. Again, let me zoom in a little bit. You go to options, rankers, and there's our newspaper, morning report, and here you have it. And so from here, you could say, you know what? I want to sell some expensive IV. Then if you click this button, set all, and then then come down here, you can save those top 10 stocks in my stock list. And then what you do from there, let's just do this quickly. So then what you do, you save them, you go to searchers. So this is like trying to sell the most expensive options out there. Sort by highest probability of profit. I'll start with puts, my stock list, search. And here's ATVI on the top of the list. What time is it? We got 4 minutes. So this is still Friday's data. And then you got to do your directional analysis. All right, so these are expensive options. You can look at the stock and the IV as well. Look at that. So that's informational. The stock is rising, and so is the IV. There was an earnings report, and then there's been some strong news, and there's a lot of money flowing into a stock. Stock's rising with rising IV. That, to me, is one of those exceptions where money is flowing into Activision, Blizzard. You still want to do your technical analysis, but here, why IV ain't there for no reason. Why is that happening? That's not how it normally works. Earnings is in 31 days. That could be part of it, but that's a large IV rush with 30 days to go before earnings. So you can dig in, check that one out, check the news. Rambus is another. What's Rambus doing? The IV is still high compared to what it's been. Now this is actually a somewhat interesting one. I was looking at this one earlier, Rambus. What I like about this one is there's a nice support level right here at that pivot. So this would be get some extra IV. You can sell the put spread lower, sell a 55 put spread on it, short put spread, sell the 55s, buy the underlying 2 weeks out, maybe. That's an opportunity that's come right out of the scanners. So just a couple more things here. So play around with it. I will show you that Tesla is in the list as well, as a lot of volume on the puts on the December 15 of this year, 200 puts. Let's see where Tesla is now again. So what I think that is somebody sold some puts under here, 200, thinking Tesla's, oh, look, Tesla's above 280. Woo! Look at that. That's awesome. But Tesla was in this list. And that's how I found it, quite honestly. I did this morning, early this morning. I found Tesla, and then I went to CNBC and saw Tesla's deliveries. And you could sell puts down, and also high option volume on Tesla here as well. These are July 21 puts, 230. So somebody probably sold some 230 puts, and that would be right here. So that's it. So that's another way. Now the other thing that you can do here, and I think this is kind of like the gut punch, is you can say find the stocks that have appeared in multiple lists. Why would you want to know that? Well, these are exceptional option trades. that are going on. Something's up with these stocks. Are they going up or down? I don't know. I've got to look. But you can see here this list of stocks that have appeared in multiple of these lists. And so what you can do there is set all and then replace those 10 stocks into my stock list and then go searching again. Put credit spread, highest probability of profit, my stock list. Let's see here. And look, Carnival Cruise Lines. Man, I tell you, Carnival is looking really good. Beginning. And then I'm looking at it.